right, you ready?
Yep.
Why are you doing it that way?
All right, so we're live.
Good morning.
All right, so this is YouTube, so YouTube got to catch up.
Okay.
All right, so let's start talking to YouTube.
Good morning.
Good.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello there.
Good. YouTube is finicky. I want to switch.
I don't know.
The blue button. I can't see it because Mr. Shirley's in the way.
Blue button
The blue button. Yep.
right here
Yep.
You're live.
with a video. Just anywhere in there that's big.
Yes.
You ready?
Yep. Did it work? Hit it in the middle. All right. All right. We are live. What does it say? There it goes. Okay.
Oh, there are the
Alright.
little hearts.
Okay.
How about this? We'll have a talk
Well,
with Miss Portia Williams.
And
Action.
welcome back to all of our viewers. This is our very first new show on In the Community TV. We will be your hosts, Portia Williams,
Joy Mosley, Patricia Craig.
and we will co-host the show this morning. We're going to be discussing issues that you need to know. Veterans to veterans, we are who we serve.
Well, welcome.
And why you stop? Keep going.
Okay. Welcome. On today's show, we will discuss the mission of the VA Mental Health Advisory Council with the co-chairman, Ms. Patricia Craig, as well as the council member, Ms. Portia Williams. So, Ms. Craig, please tell us a little bit about the VA DC Mental Health Advisory Council.
Thank you so much, Joy, and I am just so happy to be here with you all today. I am the chairperson of the Veterans Mental Health Advisory Council at the Washington, D.C. VA Medical Center. And what we do, well let me back it up and just say that we are authorized by VHA to be in existence. We are in partnership, with the medical center to make sure that veterans get the kind of care that they need. And that may mean anything from, whatever is affecting, their mental health. It could be something as simple as the parking issue that will perhaps trigger them in some kind of way. So what we do is, we address those types of issues in addition to making sure that veterans have a voice and a say in what's happening at the medical center. Our primary mission is to provide opportunities for them to share their views and opinions with the council without fear of reprisal. So what we do is when we get that information, we take it to the medical center leadership and let them know that we have veterans who are who may have some issues with things that are happening at the medical center with them. So what we do is we address those issues for all veterans, male, female, and the LGBTQ community. So we service all veterans, and that's what all veterans need to keep in mind, is that we are here for you for whatever matters that you feel are important to you. And we table Monday through Friday. No, we table Monday and Thursday at the DCVA Medical Center so that you have access to us. Our area doesn't just cover the DC area. We also cover Virginia, Maryland, parts of West Virginia, and other areas also that are in our vision. So, we're happy to be here and we're happy to serve again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ms. Craig, for that. Tell me a little bit about why it is that you joined the council.
Oh my, I'm a survivor, and it was at the DCVA Medical Center where I first got the help that I need in order to be where I am today, and that is with you all. And so giving back, trying to give back and saying thank you to all of the clinicians, the peer support specialists, the medical center executive team. Those two words, thank you, it just was not enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here to try to say thank you to them in a different way, as well as encourage other veterans
Absolutely.
to reach out and get the help that they need, because it's there. There are people at the DCVA Medical Center who care deeply about your medical care. And so, if you don't initially want to reach out to them, come to us, the Veterans Mental Health Advisory Council, and we will help you access the help that you need. So that's why I became a member of the council here.
Absolutely. So often we hear about the horror stories in the news involving the VA.
Yes.
And the lack of quality care
Right.
for veterans. But I know that there are some success stories out there for the community to hear.
Right.
Can you please share with us exactly how it is that the council defines success?
That's a very good question. And as you said, there are many good things that are happening at the DCVA Medical Center, and there are those of us who are aware of that. And there are some things that they still need to work on, but hear it from us, the Veterans Mental Health Advisory Council. The DCVA Medical Center is aware of that, and they are working on that as well. So in terms of defining, success for the council itself, is being able to make that kind of difference for the medical center itself, as well as for individual veterans who come to us with an issue that they were not able to solve or get help on their own. And so what we do is we walk them through the process, and when they come back to say, thank you so very much, I've been working on this for X number of years, and it was never taken care of. But you walked me through the process, and in less than a day or less than an hour or less than 20 minutes, it's solved, it's taken care of. So we define success in many different ways, with our partnership with the mental health department, as well as our partnership with the VA Medical Center itself.
Okay. That's a great point that you bring in, and that's a great segue into my next question. You brought up partnerships, and I know how much organizations in the community, they love to help our veterans. So can you tell us a little bit about how the resources are used for the council, how it is that we use our resources to help veterans?
I am just so proud of the community that we're in, and I'm so very proud of the mental health department at the DCVA Medical Center, and I'm proud of them because they are willing partners. So we have a partner in the community TV who's filming us, now, so we're very proud of that partnership as well. We're proud of partnerships, such as the ones that we work together with the DC Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs. We collaborate with the Southern Maryland Community Collaborative. We collaborate with AARP, Melwood, Veteran Services. We partner also with a community-based organization in Ward 7 called HOPE. HOPE stands for House of Prosperity Everlasting. So we have a satellite site there to serve veterans and their family members. We also work together and partner with Easter Seals. Easter Seals, we partner with them because they offer services to family members that the VA does not. So, the service member as well as the family can get the health care, the mental health care that they need at Easter Seals. And with so many different partnerships, then we put on different types of events, such as Monday. We had Kevin Hines here, and Portia will talk a little bit more about that.
Wonderful.
Yes, and then Tuesday next week at Hope on 2918 Minnesota Avenue, we will be having a homeless veterans roundtable discussion. So we're inviting all of you out to come out and be a part of that, as well. Then in April 4th, at the medical center itself from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., we're having our second annual 2019 Military Sexual Trauma Summit. And again, we're inviting all of you out because we're having a plenary session in the morning, 9 different breakout sessions in the afternoon. We have the clothesline project that we do annually also, and I think Portia will talk a little bit more about that as well. We will also have vendors there from Virginia, DC, Maryland, and people from as far as Michigan, Connecticut, New York are coming in to be a part of this as well. Then in May 18th, we're planning our Welcome Home Veterans project that we normally do on an annual basis. And keep in mind that all of the things that we do, we serve all veterans, to include returning citizens veterans, to include the LGBTQ plus community. If you are a veteran, no matter what your discharge papers, may read, we serve all veterans. Please, reach out to us.
Thank you so much, Ms. Craig, for
Thank
that
you.
wonderful explanation
Thank
on
you,
who it
thank you.
is, what we do, how we define success, and most importantly, how it is that we really utilize our resources. Now, I don't want to leave anyone out at the table because we have with us the very beautiful, the very talented Miss Portia Williams, who is a suicide prevention specialist, and we are also very blessed to have her on the council as well. So welcome, Portia.
Thank you.
How are you
for
doing
having me.
today?
I am well. I can't complain. I'm actually very excited.
Great. So one of the things that I love to do is help people tell their stories. And I truly believe that when you tell your story, you actually have an opportunity to heal someone else. So I'd like to take a minute to both of you, starting with you, Portia, just share with us why it is that you decided to join the council.
Okay, well, Ms. Craig gave you a little bit earlier about why she joined. I want to say, I came to Ms. Craig, one of my friends had committed suicide on my birthday. Wasn't the first suicide that I had encountered, but it had been quite a few, but that one was like my last straw.
Okay.
So I went to suicide prevention and I said, listen, what can I do to help? I need something, like, because I can't sit back and watch this continue to go on. So they pointed me in the direction of Ms. Pat Craig.
Okay.
She called me on the phone and said, Portia, how are you? What do you need? And I'm like, Miss
That's
Pat.
Miss Pat.
And I'm like, Miss Pat, I'm tired of it. I want it to stop. I need to be able to help. Like, I'm grieving, but in my grief, I need to help someone. And she sent me to a training course. She said, are you available for training? And I said, well, yeah, I'll be there. And so she said, okay. I showed up not knowing what training she was talking about. And it turned out to be the assist training, and that training changed my life. That training pointed me in the direction of suicide prevention and intervention. And it was a hands-on course. I had been so used to learning about suicide prevention by way of clicking through a module, right? So when we were in service, we were like, okay, come on, I'm trying to go home early. Click, 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 click. Don't kill yourself. Got it. That's how this goes, right? But that 2-day interactive course, I cannot compare it to anything else. And it changed my attitudes, my beliefs, and my feelings about suicide. And it helped me to be able to intervene in over 60 suicides. My friends and counterparts reach out to me via social media, which happens to be, a lot of people are hurting, and I just want them to know at all times that, it's the suffering is optional, and you don't have to sit with it, and you're not the only one. We're all going through something, and sometimes you just need to talk, and they just want to hear, they just want you to hear their story. So from there, the sky has been the limit for us. So many doors have opened, and like, she was saying that we had Kevin Hines Monday. Oh my God.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my
gosh. Kevin Hines.
Oh my God.
For those of you who don't know, Kevin Hines is huge.
Huge.
So let's talk a little bit about
In
that.
fact, one of the biggest. Kevin Hines is so humble, and he is just amazing. His energy, just himself, he's very positive. Him and Margaret, I was just so blessed to have him. Margaret is Kevin's wife, and his backbone, and that's his girl. They are a team, and I just love them both. Kevin in 2000 was suffering from bipolar and schizophrenia and depression, and so what he did was he was looking for help, and he highlighted a few different things and different people that he reached out to, clinicians, psychiatrists, friends, anyone, strangers, and he was reaching for help, and nobody caught him, nobody saw it. And so what he did was he jumped off of the Golden Gate Bridge, 275 feet in 4 seconds. He shattered some of his vertebrae in his spine, and what had happened was, as he was drowning, a sea lion was pushing him above water, right? And and the Coast Guard had, and at the same time, a lady that had seen him jump called her friend in the Coast Guard and said, "Hey, I see." So everything happened right on time. And his story is just amazing from beginning to end. He had us in tears and laughter and everything in between, and it was just such a powerful segment. But one of my biggest takeaways, I spoke as well and shared my story. I was just so honored to be able to present with him, and we will all be doing more work in the future. The council has so many things coming up. We bring so much to the table, and I'm just honored to be able to sit here beside you, Miss Pat.
Oh no, we are just so honored to have both of you as a part of the council.
Absolutely.
Thank
So
you
that's
so much, Portia. Thank
Yeah.
you. So, Miss Pat,
Yes, ma'am.
let me tell you guys, Miss Patricia Craig is the backbone of
Yes, she
the
is.
council.
absolutely.
Sometimes volunteering can be a very thankless job. And this is a woman that I've worked beside and gotten to know over the past year or so. And I never hear her complain about the work that she's doing on the council. And so, Ms. Pat, I've heard your story before, but I just truly feel that it is worth sharing again. So, please just do us the honor of telling us why it is that you joined the council.
I became a member of the council because I suffered for 42 years before I received the help that I needed. I didn't know that I was living with PTSD as a result of military sexual trauma. I always knew that something was just not quite right, but I couldn't put my finger on it, couldn't name it. So, I went for years just ignoring it because I just didn't know, and there was such an anger inside of me as well. In addition to, there were things that I was very anxious about, and I couldn't put my finger on why there were circumstances, that I was in that I would become very, very emotional about, and so that went on for, 40 some odd years. And oddly enough, I did not start the process of receiving help until 2001. And it was at that time that I began addressing what was wrong, but I didn't quite receive the help that I needed. And I'm not quite sure whether or not it was because I was not ready to receive or acknowledge that I was a survivor of military sexual trauma. So from 2001 to 2000, let's say 15, I was, trying to figure it out. Then in 2012, September, I was diagnosed with, stage 3 cancer. And so, I went through that process, and came through. I am, cancer, free, thank God. So,
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much. But, it was after that I had a real breakdown, and I asked my clinician, why now? And so what they said was sometimes trauma brings on, other types of trauma. So going through the trauma of cancer, then that stress, brought on, the stress of what happened when I was in the military. So that was when I began to address it here at the DCVA Medical Center. And I was very, very, very blessed to have the best physicians who, first of all, believed me. They listened and said, I believe you. And that made the biggest difference in the world in my care. So I began that process, you know, with my clinicians, inpatient stays and PRRC group sessions, psychosocial rehabilitation and recovery center, you know, programs, trauma services programs, and it was in the PRRC program where the Veterans Mental Health Council at the Washington D.C. VA Medical Center began. It began because of a psychologist there who decided that, you know, they wanted the input of veterans. And so what happened was she selected a group of veterans to come in and start up this council. And I was one of the ones that she picked. So honored. I had no clue, you know, why she picked me, you know, but at that time we said, yes, we wanted to be able to, you know, be a part of this, give our input so that other veterans can know and feel what we know and feel and get the kind of help that they need. And so that's what we did. We began the council. We began it by creating the bylaws, by, you know, we took bylaws from every parts of the state and came up with our own bylaws and our mission, and it serves us well. Not only does it serve us well, but a part of our duties, part of our, you know, things that we want to do is to bring innovative programs to the DCVA Medical Center that may be serving veterans in other parts of the country, but we don't have it here.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we advocate for. You know, if it's happening there, then, you know, and it's helping veterans, why can't we have it here?
Absolutely.
As such as, you know, integrative health and wellness programs, yoga, meditation, acupuncture, massage therapy, Qigong, Tai Chi, Judo. We have all of that at the DCVA Medical Center. And all you need is a consult from your primary care, and that's it. There's no appointment to get a physical or anything like that. Call your primary care. My Healthy Vet, you know, text your primary care and say, you know, I want to become a part of the Integrative Health and Wellness program. And so what they'll do is they'll put that consult in, send it to Integrative Health and Wellness. Integrative Health and Wellness will give you a call, and what they'll do is they'll set up an appointment for you to come in and talk with them, and then they'll outline all of the different programs that are available to you, a veteran, that you can be a part of as many times as you want to, for as long as you want to. And I think that is an awesome resource, you know, right there. Particularly if you're coming out of inpatient, then going into PRRC, and then into the Integrative Health and Wellness program, it just adds to the value of the continuum of care.
Okay.
So, you know, in terms of why, I know I went around the block and back again to get to
that's
why,
okay.
you know.
Okay. We're learning a lot about the processes and the different programs, alternative programs that are available, because many people shy away from treatment because of the stigma of mental health.
Yes.
And they don't want to use mental health services because they don't agree with the traditional route of treatment.
Right.
So it's great to
It is.
know that there's alternative means of treatment, that there's not just one path, because mental health
Yes.
services is not a one-fit-all package
Very good, yes.
for everyone. So it's good to know that about that diversity.
Thank you for bringing that alternative or complementary side up.
Complementary, absolutely.
Because the Veterans Mental Health Advisory Council, along with the National Coalition of Mental Health for Mental Health Recovery, as well as the National Empowerment, you know, Center, we are sponsoring the 2019 Alternatives Conference here in DC at Catholic University. Last year we had about 500 participants from 7 other countries, 8 including our own. But what it does is exactly what you said. It presents alternatives to medication that are out there for veterans, whether it is, again, those, you know, modalities that I talked about earlier, but it's what's happening across the nation, around the world, and it's available to you, veterans. So, you know, in order to take advantage of some of these things that are happening at the DCVA Medical Center and some of the activities that the Veterans Mental Health Advisory Council is involved in, particularly that alternatives from July 7 to 11 here in the DC area, give us a call at 202-745-8000, 58641. And 58641 is our extension. We want you there at the alternatives. We want you as a member of our council also. So contact us if you would like to be a part of what we do. And you don't have to do what we do. You just have to have a passion for something, you know? Bring that passion. We'll work it to the betterment of all veterans. So, you know, we appreciate you and thank you, you know, so much for bringing that alternative side up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, thank you, Ms. Pat.
Thank you.
For sharing your story and
Thank
that
you.
wonderful explanation about who it is, what we do. And of course, thank you, Ms. Portia Williams, for sharing your story and telling us about your work. And I know that we are going to hear more about that later on in the show. So stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break. But stay tuned. We have coming up next, we have Mr. Ralph Parrington. He is going to talk about the Veterans Welcome Home event, as well as the advocacy that's going on in DC for the Veterans Court. And then we're going to continue our conversation with Ms. Portia Williams about suicide prevention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gotta push your button, right?
Okay.
So let me see that. Okay.
We need feedback.
Feedback, yeah.